What is up, everyone? Hello, welcome to Gearing Up. I'm Greg. Normally, I am here with April, but I feel like I've been wanting to do some extra episodes, and I don't want to push my luck, with her. She's a very willing co-host, but it's tough to carve out the time for us to sit there and do it once, so twice, I don't know. Anyways, I thought it would be fun to jump on and do a very quick solo episode. This is weird because it's just me talking to me, so bear with me. This is definitely kind of a test, and if it goes well, if it's well received, then we'll do it again. And if you guys are like, nope, I can do without that, then, this one time will be fun. But I just got done doing some yard work, so I'm kind of sweaty and gross and nasty. But I was like, I'm gonna get this done, and then I'll go shower and all that. But I thought it would be neat to do just a short episode. I don't want to commit to any time because April will get on to me. But my thoughts were, once a week. Thursday evenings, I'll jump on, carve out 15-20 minutes to just do this. Won't do any edits, won't do any cuts. And now I've figured out how to record with the intro and outro music, so that's all it takes. So pretty straightforward. So I think that these episodes, if I continue to do them, will consist of kind of three things, and that'll help kind of keep them concise and help, I guess, keep them on point and organized. The first thing is going to be kind of just a recap, what's going on, what you should check out, what I'm planning on, what's coming up. And that may be one or two things, it may be nothing. We may just jump into the other two. But the other two things are going to be a weekly account feature. So I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought, well, I don't want to just call out one account at a time. Not that accounts don't deserve that, but I think it would be more useful or a little bit more interesting if every week I had kind of a theme. So I think if I continue to do this, we'll do some kind of theme. I don't know, something fun. And, nothing super specific, I guess. Just kind of whatever comes to mind. I was jotting down some ideas earlier about what could the themes be? And so, I want to do a shout out. It may be 3 accounts, it may be 5 accounts, it may be, I probably won't do any more than 5 because that would be kind of ridiculous. But, I just want to shout out some of the accounts that I follow that I like and kind of share the love a little bit, I guess. We'll see if it's interesting. If a lot of you guys may already be following a lot of them, so may not really do us any good, but so we'll see how that goes. And then I also want to do a Q&A. And honestly, who knows, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 or 3 questions or 20 questions or whatever. But I thought it would be neat to go in and just ask you guys, hey, on Instagram, hey, ask me whatever questions you want, and we'll go from there. So I did that a little bit earlier today. I don't think I did it quite early enough. I'll probably start doing it like the day before, because right now I only have a couple questions, but they're interesting ones nonetheless, so we'll still go through them. Oh, God, sorry for that giant breath. But yeah, so let's just jump into it. I want to jump into the weekly account feature. So this week's theme, I thought it would be interesting to feature. So my wife is on the show most of the time, and she's kind of out of her element as far as everyday carry stuff goes. That's not really her thing, but she knows it's a hobby I'm into, and so she supports it. But I think it's always interesting hearing her perspective, and so I thought it would be neat to they're definitely less common. But there are some women in the everyday carry community. So, sorry, I'm really thirsty. I thought it would be neat to go through and highlight a couple of the accounts that I follow that are, really great to follow, has some really great content, and, more often than not, probably get mistaken for dudes until they post a selfie, because it's a very dude-heavy industry, which, I get, but there are some women in the everyday carry community, and why, I wanted to show them some love. So I was thinking through earlier, and I'm sure there are some that I'm going to leave out, but I came up with 5 accounts that I really highly recommend you go follow if you're not already. And I don't have them in any kind of order or anything like that, because I don't. I mean, they're all great, but yeah, so in no particular order, here are the 5 women of EDC that I'm going to feature this week. So the first account is blatantly underscore obvious. So just to spell that real quick, it's BLADEANTLY underscore obvious. Blatantly obvious. That is Courtney. Courtney has been a longtime friend. We have similar taste in gear. We've traded and sold and bought back and forth a bit. And so she's always got some really killer stuff, and she's always posting amazing pictures. Lots of inspiration from her. So love her account. Definitely go give her a follow if you're not already. She's super cool to talk to, and her stories are usually pretty funny. So, that's good too. Number 2. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find my list. Number 2 is Erin's EDC. That's spelled ERINS EDC. Just Erin's EDC. No spaces, no underscores or periods or anything like that. It's just Erin's EDC. Erin kind of came out of nowhere. She posted a few pictures, and I think I followed her when she had I don't know, I want to say 300 followers. I don't know. Not very many. I don't know if she followed me or if I followed her or if someone else shouted her out. I honestly can't remember. I've been following her for a little while, but she broke 3,000 followers not too long ago. She's just been crushing it. She's got a very unique style. Lately, she's been getting into watches. She's always fun to talk to. I think she's up in Canada. Yes, Canadian. Sorry, I just pulled her up on Instagram. So definitely go follow Erin. Really great content, really great gear, and she's super cool. Number 3 is SAK underscore EDC. SAK underscore EDC. That is Cynthia. Cynthia has the most enviable farmer collection I've ever seen. And a farmer is one of the patterns of the Victorinox knife. So, that's her favorite one. So at least I think it is. Cynthia, correct me if I'm wrong. She's got a great collection of Swiss Army knives. Overall, just a lot of really, really cool gear. And she incorporates color really well into her shots. So, some folks, when you look at their Instagram profile and you look at their feed, it's kind of monotone. I don't know if that's the right word to use or not. But while her you can definitely tell scrolling through that it's her pictures, but each picture kind of has its own unique color. So like I said, I really respect that. And again, tons of information. And again, Cynthia blew up 11,500 followers. So if you're listening to this, you're probably already following her. But if you're not, please go do yourself a favor. You will absolutely enjoy it. What is that now? That's 3. The 4th one that I want you to go check out is Miss MRS underscore G underscore EDC. So Mrs. G EDC. That is Sammy. You can tell if y'all hear Ellie, I'm so sorry. She's meowing because I have the door closed for quiet and peace and no interruptions. And of course I'm failing at that. You can tell by scrolling through that Sammy's favorite color is blue because every single picture has something blue in it. And and not that that's a bad thing. I think that that's, again, everybody kind of has their own style. She's got killer gear. We've bought and sold back and forth a lot. And she's always super cool to talk to and work with and all that stuff. So highly recommend you go follow Sammy if you're not already. You will not be upset. Oh, God, I feel like I'm out of breath. I swear it's just because I got done working outside. And the last one, a little bit more firearm heavy, but I think she's great. She's like a shooting instructor. I don't know what the proper term is, so I don't want to say it wrong, but she's an NRA/ASP instructor. But she, anyways, her handle is Amazing Grace 007. So Amazing Grace 007. Amazing Grace 007. Grace's feed is awesome. Like I said, if you like firearms, handguns, I mean, it's a great feed. But she also does some more traditional like pocket dumps and stuff like that. So highly recommend giving her a follow if you're not already. You probably are if you're listening to this. She's at 16.2 thousand followers as of recording this. So she's absolutely crushing it. So I hope that is somewhat cool. I hope you guys like checking out those accounts. Again, that's 5 women of EDC that are that have really great accounts and really great content. They're really great people. I've spoken at some point to every single one of them, so not directly, just messaging or commenting or following each other or whatever. So highly recommend you go follow them if you're not already. All right, and now let's jump into the Q&A. So I really only have 3 questions right now that I want to get to, but I think that they're all pretty fair questions and ones that I can spend a couple seconds on each and really answer them thoroughly. So, God, I feel like I'm just rambling and I say a lot, and y'all are going to notice it way more now without April to balance me out. So Patina Turner _ says, first knife and what knife kicked off the sickness. I'm not really a knife fiend. I had my phase where I was trying to like get into higher end knives, and at the end of the day, I just sold my Keen. So right now I have a GEC that's been recovered, so kind of custom, but it wasn't super expensive. I have my custom Swiss Army knife that is the artwork on the podcast, that one. I have a fixed blade tactical pterodactyl knife. It's a mini. And I have a Wharncliffe Dragonfly and a Wharncliffe Delica, both from Spyderco. I think that's it for like the knife collection. Seriously, like my collection's pretty slim right now, and they're all, pretty much sub $100 knives. The TPK fixed blade, that little guy, was a little bit more, but yeah, I've been kind of getting away from knives and a little bit more into gear instead of knives. But to answer your question, first knife, gosh, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it was probably a the standard Swiss Army knife that everybody gets. I remember being in the I can't remember exactly how old I was. I want to say it was maybe like 7 or 8, but I had a no-name pocket knife. It had a bright yellow handle and a short, like stubby kind of blade. Really small little keychain knife. And I remember having that one and slicing my thumb open with it. Of course, I was probably, using it incorrectly or playing with it or something, something I shouldn't have been. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you now, in my recent years, my adult years, the Kershaw Leak was my go-to for years when I worked retail. Because it was slim and sleek and not very threatening. I could pop it out in front of customers if I needed to, and it's not a Wharncliffe Delica or a small fixed blade. So, Yeah, that in more recent years, yeah, I would probably say the Kershaw leak. And now I don't own a single Kershaw, and not that I wouldn't. I don't have a problem with them, but I just don't. But I kind of got away from assisted opening knives, and that was one of them. So there you go. I hope that answers. Well, I said first knife and what knife kicked off the sickness. So the Kershaw leak, I would say, kind of in recent years, was the first real, like, that's the knife that I bought, carried every day. The knife that kicked off the sickness. Oh God. I mean, I might get judged real hard for this, but when I first started getting into EDC, the Kershaw Shuffle 2. So the Tanto, little liner lock with the bottle opener and the pry at the end. It was like $18 or $15, and I had, like I said, I had a nice pen. I found some cranky hanky gear, and that was like, whoa, that's so cool, not knowing anything, and it's still a good little inexpensive pocket knife, but I feel like that's what kicked it off. Now, the knife that I would credit with what made me understand spending decent money on a knife was the Chris Reeves Sebenza. For the longest time I didn't care for them, just aesthetically they were kind of boring to me. And then I got one, and I understand, and I miss it. I shouldn't have ever sold it. That'll probably be the next expensive knife I buy, is another Sebenza to keep in the rotation, because I miss carrying it. It's one of those sleek, simple, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of knives. And it was one of the first ones that really, like, okay, this is why people spend decent money on a knife. So I hope that answers the question. Corey Stafford says, what's your current grail items? Knife, pen, pry, etc. Knife, grail, I'm not really chasing a knife. If I had to put one out there, I'd probably say the Gavco Nurse. Really enjoying Daddy-O EDCs and Franco Fenix. They both have one, and they're insanely cool. But I'm not on the hunt. I don't think I'd spend the money on one right now. Pen, I've got it right here for effect. I have a spiral fluted brass Fellholter G2 with a Fellholter Damascus clip and a Damascus handle, made by another maker, Nils. I can't remember his last name. But yeah, it's I sold and then bought, but I sold my fluted brass tiny for this. The G2 is like the perfect size for me. And so this is it. I love it. It carries really well. It doesn't, open or engage or whatever you want to say in my pocket or anything like that. Current grail pry. That's tough. I have a lot that I love. There's some pries that are very special to me that I'll never let go of, like my pineapple stamped nickel knives scalper. That one stays with me. And my Lynch All Access Pass V2. Probably the one that I enjoy carrying the most in terms of like fanciness is my Coke Tools cap lifter in brass. It's a 3/8 inch with I forget what kind of wood it is, but it's like a wood inlay. It was the Blade 2019 cap lifter that he made. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I've really been trying to like slow it down on what I'm carrying. I've been pocketing like one small knife, a pry bar, and my pen. That's really it. I'm about to get a new wallet that'll help me carry notebook a little easier, so there's that. But Corey, I hope that answers your question. And then Ozzy the Man Diaz says, been thinking of starting a podcast. Any tips on how to stop thinking and actually start? It's a fantastic question, and one that I'm very happy to end on. So to answer your question, there's not like a great way to say, hey, this is the ABC on how to do a podcast. For me, this started, and I've said this before, this started as a I really wanted to see if I could do it. I worked in the industry. I worked at an agency that bought advertisements for podcasts, and so I was kind of surrounded by them. Really enjoyed them, so I wanted to see if I could do it. And here we are, like 30 episodes in, and really enjoying it. That being said, there's a ton of ways to get started, and it won't cost you anything. If you have a cell phone, you can podcast. There are some great apps like Anchor. Just Google Anchor Podcast and you'll get the app. And you can, if I understand this correctly, I've never done it personally, but I think with Anchor you can literally just start a podcast. And it uploads to all the right channels for you, and they can help with monetization and give you some statistics and stuff like that. So if you've got a smartphone, you should be able to podcast for nothing. That being said, you can go to gtdone.com and go to I think it's under the gear tab. Yeah, it is. And I did an episode. I did a blog post on all of my podcasting equipment that I use. Now the setup's changed a little bit since we moved, but the main recorder is still the same, and the software hasn't changed, anything like that. So, you can go onto the site there and you can see my equipment that I use. It's pretty straightforward, but like I said, if you've got a smartphone, you can buy, I'm trying to think, Amazon's a great place to start, but you can buy microphone splitter input, whatever, for an iPhone. I'm sure that's got to exist, or even just a digital voice recorder that will work well. Find a quiet room to do it in, but even like I said, with apps like Anchor, I know SoundCloud will let you upload for free as well, so definitely do that. Uploading to all the different sources like iTunes and Google Play and stuff is free. I don't spend any money on the only money I spent on the podcast is the money I spent on the hardware. And again, you don't need to do it. And I spent a lot less than some people do. There are individual microphones that cost more than my entire setup that popular podcasters use. So there's definitely a way to get, financially into it, but even without spending any money, you can go and, use your phone, use an app, and get out there and do it. I would say, know what you're getting into. Consistency is key, which again, we've not been the most consistent, and I'm not the best to talk about that, but, just be consistent. That's step number one. Be consistent, upload regularly, communicate with your audience, talk to them, see what that's why I'm trying to ask you guys questions and involve you a little bit. And yeah, just go for it. Just do it. If you ever have any questions about the process or anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help in whatever way I can. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I like to do this kind of stuff. And so if there's a way I can help you out, I will certainly try. I love podcasting. I love the art of podcasting. I like the fact that it is becoming a little bit more mainstream and people are really starting to understand the value. Not just from a dollar standpoint. We make $0 off of this podcast, just so everyone knows. We just do it for fun, but, from a monetary value and just an entertainment value. I don't listen to the radio anymore. I have probably 9 or 10 solid podcasts that I'm subscribed to that, at any given time I can pull up on my phone, and I've got some content there. So anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. And again, I strongly encourage you to do that. I'm getting to the point now where I'm about to branch out and start doing some remote interviews. So, oh God, that scares me to death, but eventually we'll do that. But yeah, that's, I hope that answers your question. Anyways, I'm just looking at my time. I've been rambling, but, we're getting to like the 25-minute mark, which I definitely did not want to do. So we're going to close it out here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will do my best to make the next one a little bit closer to like 15 minutes. But I kind of went off rambling about the accounts and then these questions. So next time we do one of these bonus episodes, plan on it being around 15 minutes. But as always, thank you guys for listening in. I apologize for all the ums and seeming out of breath today. It's time to go take a shower and go to bed. Again, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you guys. Peace.